Hey you guys, my name is Ifeani and I'm Big Sis and I'm so glad you guys are here today. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. This is my very second episode of Manifest with Big Sis, my lifestyle, high vibes, and my musings. So welcome. Like I told you guys in the first episode, if you all saw it, if you haven't, that's okay. This episode today is just random musings about what's been going on recently in my life and how I've really been able to move through some emotions that I've been experiencing because it has been such a difficult year, but it's been such a growth, like such growth happening this year that I can't do anything but be grateful. It's like no matter how much I can lean on the other way or the other side of feeling down or like really feeling tried in this year and not really understanding which direction I'm supposed to go in or feeling like things are all topsy-turvy. Like I truly haven't been more proud of myself. I truly haven't been more confident in myself, more determined, more focused, more driven. And I'm so proud of where I am. But y'all, when I tell you this year has really taken me down to the studs, and I think it was in alignment and it was exactly what was supposed to happen. And I've been hearing a lot of different things from other people about what's going on for them this year and how this year has really been tough and all these things. And it's been somewhat comforting to know that I haven't been alone in this experience, but it's also been feeling so much like it's also just been feeling like there's so much community here and there's so much community that's needed on our planet right now because it's like social media and the internet and all these things have caused us to be maybe separate, but they've also caused us to be so connected. And I think that has been a huge part in my healing and growth journey this year because I found people online or I found places where I can go where it just really resonated with how I was feeling or how I felt in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? And it just resonated in a way that I haven't been able to necessarily express outwardly or on like to the people in my like real life or in my real circle, you know. And this year has really shown me myself, and it's shown how much growth there was needed to become who I was trying to manifest and like become and walk into, right? But it's also shown me like how much of me and my higher self was already guiding me, like how much was already within me. This year, it's been real. It's been real. Last year, I went on two psilocybin journeys. If you're not familiar with what psilocybin is, it is mushrooms, and they are psychedelic mushrooms, and they're used to work with mental health. They're used to sometimes heal traumas, blockages, and things like that that can be preventing you from moving forward in your life, healing and opening up and facing yourself through these mushrooms or through this very close to God experience. One, I can talk about that in another video. I will definitely talk about my shroom experience. I'll definitely talk about my shroom experience in another video. But those two journeys last year, psilocybin journeys, really opened me up, really opened me up to myself, but then also showed me how powerful I already was and how I was giving my power away and things were being confirmed to me, right, in these psilocybin journeys. And so when the top of the year came this year, I felt like I was on this path of knowing like this is where I'm like, okay, I manifested a job right out the beginning of the year, right? And I'm like, yes, this job pays well. I know what I'm going to be doing. There's going to be no issues, no problems. The only thing was that it was a little bit further, right? Now, it was a little bit further away from my home. So I was thinking about, okay, how am I going to get back and forth there? I had a car, so I'm good with that. But you know, I'm in the Los Angeles area and the traffic was bonkers every morning, every afternoon. So I'm spending 3 hours just in traffic. So I was thinking, okay, so I ended up going there, ended up doing a job. It was a good income, But what I realized was that the place did not align with me. It did not align with my morals. It did not align with my values. And I felt like I was consistently every single day being conflicted in my morals and my values. And I was already telling God, like, I'm not looking to be in a place anymore where I'm going to be conflicted every day about my morals and my values. Like when I'm doing the work that I'm doing, and it was specifically in a school, and I was working with special education students. So if I'm working in a special education school and I'm working in like with students, I shouldn't be compromising my integrity every day when I come in here. And I'm not going to continue to do that for a check. I just cannot do it. And so that was the beginning. I worked there for 3 months, y'all. 3 months of the year. Got a new job. Had to quit. Had to quit. So I was realizing like, wow, I'm back in a situation where I did not have a job. And I was like, what the fuck? What is happening? What is happening? What am I supposed to be doing right now? I couldn't really believe it that was happening so soon, but I also could believe it because Spirit had already been telling me, Source, God, Creator had already been telling me, look, it's time for you to be working for yourself. You're working on your own. You're doing this entrepreneurial journey, and you can push this off as long as you want to. You can have a part-time thing as long as you want to. You might be able to get a full-time thing, but just know that you're going to end up in this entrepreneurial creator, you make your own lane type of world. So while everything was coming at me, all the shadow energy, after I quit my job, even though I knew I had clear reason as to why I quit it, after I quit my job, I was already like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? Was I impulsive? What should I do? How am I about to take care of myself? What's happening? My children are here with me. I'm responsible to them. What am I doing? What are you doing? That's how I felt immediately after, even though I felt in my spirit, in my heart, that I made the right decision. I really did. I really felt confident with my decision at that time. Now, could I possibly have adjusted or planned better? Yeah, I definitely could have, because baby, the repercussions, they definitely came. I definitely had to sit with it. But did I ever second guess my choice? No. What ended up happening was I was a lash artist. Also, I was doing that part-time. So I was doing the lash artistry. I've been doing lashes for over almost 7 years now. So I was doing lash artist, but I was doing lashes, but I had fell out of love with it, and I knew it. And God had told me to sit it down, and I knew it. And I kept going, kept doing it until I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it. It was, again, where I was going to lash was too far away from my home. Getting the clientele, investing in the business, doing all those things became too difficult. And I realized that my heart wasn't in it anymore. And it was time for me to set that down. And it was hard. It was tough. It was a tough decision. And here I am in May of this year, not knowing where I'm getting income from. And I'm like, oh my God. Here we go. Here we go. Here we freaking go. Okay? Lord knows I done been through that situation too many times to count. All right? And I was just like, here we go. Yet again, taking a leap, and you don't know where you landing. Right? So here it is, May, June. I'm sorry. Not to mention that my partner had also lost his job. Around the same time. We could not make it up. We had both been laid off, and we both were like, what is actually going on right now? And so we weren't prepared for that. We're not prepared for the layoffs or, me quitting, like just weren't prepared, right? And while it was like, oh my goodness, you got to do what you got to do. From the outside looking in, it's like, you have to do what you have to do, right? And you have to be the person who like stays on your job, or you don't know where the money's coming from. You don't know, have a clue what you're going to do. Long story short, end up having to move out our apartment and go through the eviction process. Now, I was not even upset about going through the eviction process. You want to know why? Because I was good. We were good. We were able to save up so much money so we could be able to move, go through the process, and not even worry about it. It was an easy situation. It wasn't ideal, but I really in that time still saw God's goodness and God's grace in that time frame, because it was one of those things that you like never want to go through. It's one of those things that's like, oh my God, it's like, oh, is this gonna be on my credit? Oh my God, I'm never gonna be able to get an apartment. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's how it felt. But it was in that time frame that I really realized I was just going from glory to glory. And even though this was my situation right now, this wasn't gonna determine like the outcome and how I felt and how I viewed myself and how worthy I was. Still, even though there were some trials and tribulations that I had to go through, because most people are not going to buck their job because of their morals and values. A lot of people are going to continue, and this is no shade, no tea, a lot of people are going to continue with those jobs even though they're constantly questioning their morality, or maybe they're doing things that they're lying, they're manipulating, they're stealing, they're doing whatever the case may be. And not to say all jobs are like that, but when you are in a position like that and you're continuing to go through it because you have that fear of, oh, things are not going to work out and you're not going to be taken care of. And while that is realistic, that is a realistic fear, obviously, and it is not, I repeat, I do not suggest quitting your job necessarily on a whim with no plan or no vision about what is going on or what's going to happen. But for me personally, I knew that at that moment I could not do it, and it was something that was it was being pressed upon me so much, not because I was just impulsive and crazy and didn't know what to do. It was just because this was not it. So ended up going through the process, was able to get another job. Both of us were able to acquire more work. We were able to use our letters of employment and acceptance of employment to get in our new apartment. It's fine. Everything kind of went over smoothly, but it was like down to the wire. Okay, we got to move out by this date. All right, I don't know what we're going to do, because we have been shopping for apartments for months trying to prepare. But luckily we were able to save up the money that we needed to be able to move and be able to get into a new apartment with no problem. And so that was the grace, right? Because it could have went a whole different way. It could have went a whole nother way, but that was the grace. That was the goodness. But when I tell you, it was like, oh my God, what is happening? It felt like I kept understanding and kept learning, like, all right, whatever you say, you on this journey, you at this vibrational level right now where it's like whatever it is that you say is going to be. So if you believe that, hey, you're gonna have to get in this situation, this terrible situation, then that's what it's gonna be. If you believe that, hey, out of this you're gonna be able to be blessed and start a new chapter, this is how it's gonna be, right? And so in that whole process, and me and my boyfriend, like in that whole process, like I ended up, oh, I'm sorry, I also forgot. During this whole process and time, my grandmother ended up passing away. Not to mention, she ended up passing away. She was in her 90s, so we knew that, of course, eventually she's gonna be on her way out. But I had to stop what I was doing. Ended up going in around the same time, having to fly home to Michigan. To go to that, to help out with that, and then had to fly my kids to Florida because that's where their dad is. So I was like, okay, this is a lot going on right now. This is a lot going on, and it had been a lot going on, but it was all like, it all got done. Even though I had no idea, like, the money was coming, the things were taken care of, people were helping me, people were helping us, but it wasn't like an overpouring of help, but it was just like, it felt like, what was needed was being presented at that time, and I couldn't really make it up. I couldn't really like quantify. I just had to like accept where I was. Went ahead, dropped my kids off to Florida, came back, and I felt this overwhelming sense of depression. This had to be in June, leading up almost to July. Felt this overwhelming sense of depression. I was like in a dark place, like somewhere where I've just never really experienced that level. But it was so wild because I knew that it was really a place that I needed to be. It was not just an overwhelming like state of depression, but it was more so like a sense of anger. It was like I was able to clearly see how I put myself in this situation and how I was going to get out of it in a way that I had never can't really quantify. It was like those moments where you really realize that it's you versus you, and how much power you actually do have, but how much power you've actually been giving away. And I will say that is one of the biggest lessons I have learned in 2024 is hold on to your power, realize how powerful you are, and really understand that the journey is really you versus you. It is not about everything else. It is not about everybody else. It is not about what other people are doing. It is not about that. It is about you. This is your universe, and it is up to you to move through it accordingly. Okay, whatever it is that you see, whatever is you, it's projected back to you. Okay, like whatever you were looking at, you see it, it all projects back to you. And I realized that so deeply this year, not because I didn't already know it. I know it's like one of those concepts where it's like, duh, you versus me, you know, money bag kill. Like, lately I feel like it's me versus me. Yeah, for sure. But no, I have never been sat down in a way like I was sat down this year. And not only that, I had never been rejected so many times for applying for jobs, programs, all type of stuff, licenses, all type of things in order to further my career in the way that I would have traditionally done it. I would have traditionally went to continue in education and get my license. I was looking to get my license in different states and doing all these things. All of it, I was rejected. Everything I was rejected. I was not starting to get yeses until I started going towards the things that I've always wanted to do. So the like mind game with that, and the mind was with that was like, yo, the only thing working is the path that you've always dreamed of. The other one that you like thought was going to be your security and that was going to take care of you, it's done. It's like the path has been dissolved. You can't go back there anymore. And so this year has really pushed me to another level in my life. Another level in my life of creating, another level in my life of being an entrepreneur, another level in my life of advocating for myself and knowing my value and worth. And I'm truly blessed because of it. No, things are not perfect, but baby, I am living my dream life now. The only thing that I'm waiting on or that I'm attracting in is the multiple zeros in the bank, okay? Multiple zeros in the bank. But when I sit and I look around about what I do every day, how my life is, what I'm able to pour into, my energy, where it's going, the literal place where I live, my apartment complex is beautiful. The area that I live in is beautiful. I've been able to take care of myself for the last 6 months, right? The second only thing is that my kids are now with their father, and that's fine because I had to take that sacrifice, but I trust him, I trust his family, and I'm grateful to have the support. So I had to realize like, it's okay. It's not perfect. But right now, it's exactly what I need to focus. It's exactly what I need to lock in. It's exactly what I need because for me, the support system that has been here in California has literally been my boyfriend. And I have a cousin. But that's not dependable in that way. It's just not. It's me. You know what I'm saying? And that is separating me from, this year has separated me from what I thought was important, or what my ego thought was important. And now I just am really being able to authentically pour into me and my creative endeavors the way that I've always wanted to do. So I'm excited about it. And this journey is not one, this self-healing journey, not one for the faint of heart. It is not It's not one for the faint of heart. Okay? It's not one for the games, not for the play. It's gonna take you all around, and it's gonna put you right in the face of what exactly you need to heal, you need to grow from, you need to look in the mirror, and you cannot run away from it. And I'm so grateful for this year. As tough as it was, as tough as it has been, I really know I wouldn't be where I am mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for this year sitting my ass down and making me look in the mirror and taking me through the trials, the ups and downs of what it had to be. It really wouldn't. So I appreciate y'all stopping in today with this episode with Manifest with Big Sis, my musings. Thank you so much for coming in. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you tap the like button, leave me some comments, and subscribe for the next episode.